Welcome back to the show. We've got another script to do for you now. I don't want to waffle for too long about things because often I find I've already written them down, so I say them and then I read out what I've written down. And it's been imparted to me that that shouldn't happen. It's annoying people. So that's not what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to make this a pleasant experience, but I'm going to do as I'm told. So for this scene, we're going to do something a chick flick. It's just an idea at this point. It's not a fully written script, and it's called Time for Love. Okay, which I think is a good title for such a genre. You know how in chick flicks the idea is often centered around the way that women in romantic entanglements seem obsessed by what their lover is doing, but instead of asking, "Where is he?" this one asks, "When is he?" Time for Love is about a man who can travel backwards 1 hour and is caught in a time loop trying to stop his girlfriend getting run over. Every time he restarts the hour to save her, he has the same obstacles to overcome. She dies on the 50-minute mark and he is across town, so he devises different ways to save her life. The story is as much about the people he interacts with every time he does the run. In the end, he just has to accept that he can't save her, spoiler alert, and he begins a relationship with someone on the scene of the accident whom he mostly ignores but grows attached to. The moral is to accept changes in your life and to never give up on your future. People will love this. It's a bit like Groundhog Day.
Yeah.
Have you heard of Groundhog Day?
Yeah, no, that's a good film.
Yeah, you've seen it?
Yeah.
You've seen that film.
Classic.
It's considered a classic comedy. And maybe it's worthy of classic status. I don't know how old something needs to be.
I don't know how old Groundhog Day is actually. It doesn't seem that
deserves
old,
to be a
but
classic.
yeah.
I think it's must be nearly 30.
Is it?
90s.
Is it? Wow.
It's 2022.
Yeah, maybe it's 2022. Yeah.
This is and I don't even think like late 90s. I would say like 93 or 4. Yeah. So the interesting thing about Groundhog Day, though, is this amazing thing happens to him. I'll just go through it just in case people haven't seen it. This amazing thing happens to him where he keeps reliving the same day, day after day, and the way he gets out of it is by making the woman that he's with fall in love with him. But every day is new for her, so at the start of the day she doesn't really like him, and he has to be so sophisticated and cool to make her like him by the end of the day. And that's how he gets out of it. What's interesting about the film is there's no scene involving like a witch or anything where they come to him and they say, "You have been cursed and you will spend..." It's never explained. At no point does it suggest, oh, this is why he's in this situation. Like, he's not a great guy. He's not like the worst guy ever either. So, you know, that's one way in which it's rather strange, because you would normally have a witch going, "Oh, this is why this is happening to you."
Yeah.
So, in keeping with that spirit, we don't do it in Time for Love either.
Okay.
We never explain why this is happening and why he can move back an hour or keep reliving an hour. So the way it works is he lives a whole day. As long as he doesn't get past midnight, he can live any hour from that day.
So you can choose an hour from the past 24. Okay, that makes sense.
How does he choose the hour?
Oh, I think he's got like a watch, like a digital watch, like
Bernard's watch.
like magic.
Yeah.
Does it have to start on the hour? So it has to be like 2 to 3 or whatever.
Yeah, because
Okay.
otherwise he'd probably make it as easy as possible.
Yeah.
Because
yeah,
she
it's
dies
true.
on the 50-minute mark, and he
Right,
would make
yeah.
it. Oh, I'll make it like 59, because then I have a
Yeah,
bit
yeah.
longer. Because he never quite gets there. He's always like just coming around the corner. She's like, yeah. So he keeps seeing it as well. So we've got like the added sort of torture. So they didn't really have in Groundhog Day.
Yeah,
they had a lot of
drama
suicide.
version of.
Killed himself a lot.
Yeah, there was a bit of emotional torture.
So it wasn't clean as a whistle. But this is like a lot worse, I think. So
it's very visceral.
yeah,
See
and we'd
it.
have to keep, you'd keep filming it as well. So it'd be, you get it from different angles, and so there's a lot to take in. I mean, you're asking a lot from the audience, which I suppose is kind of exceptional. So let's go through the scene. Jake Rupert is our protagonist, and one of his latest runs, we call them runs, where he tries to get across town in an hour or 50 minutes, quite frankly, is about to fail. His girlfriend Emma is too far off to hear him. Okay, so there's quite a lot of narration in this, so I'll do that. Maybe you want to be Jake. And Sarah, we can kind of switcheroo. Who wants to be Sarah first? Because Sarah's in the coffee shop.
I don't mind. I'm happy to do it.
Yeah? Does that mean you want to do it now?
I can do it after as well. I mean,
Well, I'm sure it's possible. Do you want to do it first?
Sure.
Good. Okay, you're doing it second.
Okay.
You didn't put up a fight, so.
No, that's all right. You can do it first.
You can be the ambience.
Yeah.
Yeah, just keep an eye on them, and if you've got any notes.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right, so we may as well start with his girlfriend Emma is too far off to hear him.
Emma! Emma!
Tires screech. Bang! Emma's immediately lifeless body is tossed into the air by an SUV. Her legs break as she hits the ground in a gruesome splits position as a second car slams into her face, catching on her dungarees and dragging her corpse 20 yards underneath it until the combination of the mechanical brakes and the weight of her carcass bring it to a standstill.
No!
Internal coffee shop evening. Jake looks over his coffee cup. He shouldn't be drinking coffee this late, he thinks. Sarah, who works at the coffee shop, joins him.
You look like you shouldn't be drinking coffee this late.
I know.
Why so sad, mister?
The girl, the one who died in the car accident.
Oh, yeah, I mean, that is so sad.
She was my girlfriend.
Oh, shouldn't you be somewhere else?
I was just thinking about coffee when I should be thinking about her.
Well, it's just a shock. I mean, don't beat yourself up about it.
If you love someone, you should think about them all the time. Or share them with other people you love. But I was thinking about the effect having caffeine so late will have on my ability to sleep tonight.
I brought up the lateness.
Don't you get it? I'm cured. Or I'm more ill than I thought I was. I mean, my girlfriend is dead and it doesn't matter to me.
You're in shock.
No. I'm just moving on. Today is the 6th of September. I haven't seen the 7th of September for 4 years. It's about time.
Jake looks at his coffee.
I'm not going to finish this.
He gets up and leaves. Yeah, don't worry.
Okay.
That was good getting up there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, no, I mean, it shows a willingness. I got an important text from my GP, so apologies for that. Apparently,
I mean, if we're in a coffee shop, there would be, noises anyway. So
Yeah.
I think
That's true.
Is everything okay?
No. So anyway, that's interesting. Quite low key though. Quite
Very
low
low
key.
key.
I think a bit more.
Stress.
Am I really doing this?
Mm.
Is this really? This is like towards the end of the film.
Okay.
Without
Yeah.
too many spoilers.
Yeah.
So am I really letting go? Because he's been reliving this day
Yeah.
for 4 years.
Okay.
So you think about that. That's yeah. I mean that's like 1,500 days.
It's a lot of days.
It's about, isn't it?
Yeah.
Think of all of those. Think of all of those days. 1,500 days. 6th of September. So the weather would be pretty good. So that's nice. But he's seen this trauma over and over again, 1,500 times.
Mm.
Normally, most people don't see anyone die,
Mm.
and rarely people they know in car accidents. But
Mm.
he keeps seeing it. Apart from maybe, there will have been a handful of times where he didn't do it. He's a bit tired. I didn't do it as well as he might. He wouldn't have seen it.
Didn't really try.
Yeah. I'm a bit. There's always tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he on those occasions, there would have been times where he probably didn't run it. He was like, I won't do it. I won't do it today.
Needs a rest.
I'm reliving this day anyway.
Mm.
And this happens, I think, between like 4 and 5 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
So he's like, so she gets run over about 4:50.
So he might just go and watch a film for a day if he's not.
Yeah,
trying to
he could do that. But I think even if, depends how, I've never really thought about like how into cinema he is.
Mm.
Because let's say there's 8 things on
Mm-hmm.
that he would be interested in seeing. So you could say, okay, that's 8 days out of 1,500. But then the cinema's burned. Maybe if one of them was really good, you'd see it twice.
He could watch like Groundhog Day on
Yeah.
DVD.
Yeah.
That'd be nice.
That would be, if you could get if you get the rights to it and like just have it on in the background.
Mm.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
nice
quite a
little,
clever
nice
nod.
little Easter egg there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That would be.
good.
What I found interesting is that she went into a gruesome splits position.
Yeah, ooh.
I did like the detail of the dungarees.
Yeah.
It's just a nice little visual kind of, yeah.
Well, because I think, it's just little things that you can tell about. She wears dungarees. Interesting. I just thought, we weren't just making her generic pretty girl.
Yeah.
Just sort of like, she's a bit like Kylie Minogue when she was in Neighbours, maybe. Like she's a mechanic.
She's a mechanic.
Right, yeah.
She could have
Right.
been. She's got wearing dungarees.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fair.
Maybe oil stained, if you wanted to be more specific or something.
By the end of that mess,
Very
Well, yeah,
well
you wouldn't be able to
Yeah.
tell.
Wow,
anyway.
all
be
sorts
like-
of stains.
which stain was
What's what?
was this before or after?
Yeah.
Would be your question.
Rough.
One for the people doing the autopsies, etc. It's not pleasant, but I think I think I need to explain what happens a bit more than I'm getting hit by a car, because then we get a kind of understanding of, God, he really is.
Yeah.
So it's not just no.
Yeah.
It's like, God, he saw all that. No,
Yeah, the level of it.
So, do you have any notes for them? Because you were watching.
Yeah, no, I really loved there was a lot of internal stuff going on with you. I could really see, like, when you were looking at the coffee cup and you're thinking, I shouldn't be having caffeine this late. I could read that in your face, and that was really coming across very well. But I did wonder if there could be more of a journey throughout the scene, because by the end of it you realise, wow, I can move on with my life, and that's huge after you've been reliving this day over and over. So I just wondered if you could have seen a bit more of a journey.
Up to the decision of
Yeah,
not drinking
yeah.
coffee.
And remember, the hour starts at 4 p.m,
Mm-hmm.
right? It ends at 5 p.m. He's going to be drinking this coffee at least 7, yeah?
Yeah.
So this is a bit after. Shouldn't
That's
Shouldn't
pretty
really be
close
doing
to
that.
bedtime. And also, presumably, he has to be awake by midnight because he needs to then go back.
he needs to be asleep by midnight.
Yeah.
isn't he?
Oh,
So,
okay.
yeah, because he doesn't want, because if he's awake past midnight, then it becomes the 7th of September and he can't
And
do
then
it
you can't
anymore.
go back, right, yeah.
So it's really,
So that's why he's having the coffee.
yeah, so think about it, it's levels,
Yeah.
Oh,
right?
so actually subconsciously he wants to...
So there's subconscious
Right.
stuff going on
That's
top
clever.
of realisation.
I hadn't quite
Very
kind
deep.
of
Right, so you've
got
got,
that,
you've
yeah.
got realisation about, I think I'm moving on. Like my body is telling me, so it's not even a question of, oh, I've made a conscious decision to move on. It's like, you know, like sometimes your body just says, like if you're an athlete, you know, a few too many injuries, you're in your mid-30s, it's not getting better. They go, oh, one day my body told me to retire. Yeah? It's a bit like that. He's retiring from trying to save his girlfriend, who he can never get to.
Right, yeah.
And in all that time, he's never formulated a way to get there, because you really would think, in all that time, he's got so much, not just the run itself, but the day leading up to the run. He could go, maybe if I turn this corner faster, or maybe there's a quicker route, maybe if I talk to this person. One thing I did want to say, you haven't brought it up, I don't blame you. Her phone battery is flat, so you can't just ring her and say, oh,
Okay.
don't cross any streets. It's not, so...
Like he could have rung somebody who might have been in the vicinity.
What he needs to do is he needs to sort of learn people who are in the vicinity, like, oh, who are you? Can I get your phone number, etc.
Right, okay.
Then kind of call them, but when the time comes, they'll be like, who the hell's this? What?
Yeah, which is fair enough, isn't
They'll
it?
be kind of, they won't be very
Yeah.
helpful because it won't progress things.
Yeah.
So, we'll do it one more time.
Yep.
You're Sarah now,
right.
so you get ready with any criticism you might have. Jake Rupert is our protagonist, and one of his latest runs is about to fail. His girlfriend, Emma, is too far off to hear him.
Emma! Emma!
Tires screech, bang! Emma's immediately lifeless body is tossed into the air by an SUV. Her legs break as she hits the ground in a gruesome splits position as a second car slams into her face, catching on her dungarees and dragging her corpse 20 yards underneath it until the combination of the mechanical brakes and the weight of her carcass bring it to a standstill.
No!
Internal coffee shop, Eve. Jake, oh yeah, and remember, like I've got some like bits in here, so just let me say them.
Yes.
Jake looks over his coffee cup. He shouldn't be drinking coffee this late, he thinks. Sarah, who works at the coffee shop, joins him.
You look like you shouldn't be drinking coffee this late.
I know.
Why so sad, mister?
The girl, you know, the one who died out there in the accident.
Oh yes, that is sad.
Sarah goes to leave.
She was my girlfriend.
Shouldn't you be somewhere else?
I was just thinking about the coffee when I should be thinking about her.
It's a shock. I mean, don't beat yourself up about it.
Jake looks pensively out of the window.
If you love someone, you should think about them all the time. Or share them with other people you love. I was thinking about the effect having caffeine so late will have on my ability to sleep tonight.
I brought up the lateness.
Don't you get it? I'm cured. Or I'm more ill than I thought I was. My girlfriend is dead and it doesn't matter to me.
You're in shock.
No. I'm just moving on. Today is the 6th of September. I haven't seen the 7th of September for 4 years. It's about time.
Jake looks at his coffee.
I'm not going to finish this.
He gets up and leaves.
This is the girl that he...
No, I don't think so.
That's a different one.
okay.
It's
No,
just
it's a
randomly
different
in
one.
there. Okay.
So he's got, you know, there's like options.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So we're like, oh, maybe he'll because we want to, you know, the audience, we don't want it to be like too obvious.
Yeah, yeah.
So maybe like
Guessing.
chats up a few different girls at different times.
Plays the field a bit.
It's kind of, it's like he's sort of removing himself, even if it is again subconscious from his thing with Emma. He's like, you know, certainly over that last year, it's like, even though he never admits it, he's not trying as hard.
Yeah.
She's dead. He hasn't talked to her in years. Remember that. Remember that. He's trying to save her, but by year 3, it's like, I haven't talked to this girl in years. So all I'm doing is kind of replaying her death.
Yeah, it's pretty
So
rough.
it's about mourning. I mean, it's kind of light-hearted in places. I don't want to sort of make it out like it's, you know, it's really heavy. But what I've done is I think I've encapsulated sort of the grieving process in a film, and with a really clever plot that's based on another clever plot, but I think maybe done in a, I don't like to use the word special, but I think possibly in a special way. So if there's any interest in making this, because I think people will love it. You know, this is the kind of thing that women, I really want to see this, I really want to see this, and they'll take like boyfriends to it, and you know, and like initially, I'm a man, right? So I understand. Oh, do you want to go and see Time for Love tonight? No. Oh, go on. You know, and then she'll like keep going on about it, like be trying to eat his dinner, and it's like, oh, go on. Like, all right, we'll go. Right? Then they go, and then he'll find.
Great film. Love
Yeah,
that.
it's like, wow, that was really, you know, maybe if he's really macho, he'll be sort of wiping away a tear at the end, like, oh, I wasn't crying. Yeah, but in reality, if he's being truthful in his own relationship, and I'm talking about the public here, he's being truthful in his own relationship, he would say to his girlfriend, do you know what? Thanks for coming up with this idea. He probably paid, but like the idea, thank you. Yeah? So if anybody's interested in finance, yeah, then you can probably make contact through the channel. In fact, I know you can, because you can sort of direct message and things. Maybe you can leave a comment, a friendly one, and we'll take it from there. Thank you.